But they got investments that the guys built, marketed, and got to your hands. So if you have a good idea and no one knows about it, that means your network is very strong. And if no one knows about your network, then it remains with you. So that's very important. So we talk about your professional. Let's now go to dialogue. That's basically what you want to say. Now, there is already a dialogue going on in Nigeria. Not a national dialogue, there's a dialogue that goes on every day in Nigeria, on social media, in churches, where we walk. People are talking about Nigeria. Younger people, for the first time, are talking about Nigeria. We are all now budget analysts. We all know what recurrent capital means. We know how NNPC gets money and how NNPC spends. For the first time in Nigeria, which is very, very good. That dialogue is good. And dialogue is not, let me use the right word now, guided. It's like a wildfire. While the wildfire is good, if it just burns uncontrollably, it destroys everything. But fire is good, it has nothing to challenge. So, what do we now do with this topic? That means that there is a task that we want to help people to accomplish building the network. I will set up once you belong to this group or you are Nigerian, you already belong to a network. So what is the problem now? The issue is that there are other networks out there which are also competing for your time and for your attention. And it's the quality of your dialogue and the strength of your network that allows ideas to flow from network to network. We don't talk to individuals, we speak to networks. Now, if what you are saying makes sense, people will listen. But success does not have to be seen to be believed. If I tell you something, you may not believe, but if you see or tell you something, because it's not seen, you will believe, even if you haven't seen it. But it's the problem that same way, if someone tells you a lie, and you believe the person, then you take the lie also. So we are competing against our and no one remember about agriculture. So poverty is a rural phenomenon. And first time we have a president talking about agriculture as a business. Let me give you a stat. Last year, China gave Nigeria $1,800 million contract to supply cassava to use that ethanol. Nigeria struggled to meet that struggle because there are no farmers anymore. Everyone is working for MTN or in the bank or a well-known. But there is so much money in agriculture and there is so much job related to agriculture. And for the first time, we have a president talking about transforming agriculture from a development sector to a business. For the e-wallets, farmers access to this fertilizer on their mobile. For the first time in the world, we have guys coming here to learn from what we are doing. That's what we should have. When people say, oh, Nigeria is the worst place to be born, we have to tell that in Nigeria, Kenya has been eradicated. It's gone. We don't have Kenya anymore. We have stuff like Huawei, for instance. General Electric, the largest and probably largest company in America, is coming to Nigeria to set up a $1 billion factory in Calabar. That's the statement of intent, a statement of courage. They wouldn't come here if they believe the report of the other networks. They are here because the other network says Nigeria is the nation's got a large population, a young population, which means we have a viable market, and that market is going to be middle class and it's going to grow. That's why they are here. They're not here because they like us. They're here because we need to perform an asset that we're a service to them. So people must realize that is a dialogue we want to have. When people say their railroads being built, yes, but the rails are being built. Lagos Ibadan is being built right now as we speak. I hope that we'll build a second Nigeria region also as we speak. But stuff is happening in Nigeria. We're having a first time of president that you can go to Facebook and abuse his quotes. Social criticism. Our role, the role of young professionals, young the next generation. Professionals being belonging to the network and dialogue being what we do here is to create the dialogue, to push it, to protect it, so that we get what we need in our place to keep on. Thank you very much.
Let us still assist the nation to achieve what is due to us. Am I in order? so we can go on now to the next speaker. Born in November 1975, attended the University of Nigeria, he read electrical engineering. Former student union activist and leader, he is an Emmy Award-winning National Youth Service Superior. Val Madi is a telecommunications engineer with vast experience spanning from planning and establishing external line plans, whole network implementation and operation, radio planning and optimization, transmission systems specialist, GSM and UMTS systems deployment, general project management.
What are the things you are going to do to the conference? I would like to suggest to the coordinator here that apart from going around talking about what is the goal, we've agreed that there is a goal. We've agreed that they are young professionals. And we've agreed that there is dialogue and there must be dialogue and there will continue dialogue. But if we are going to, I will ask that we look at the impact that we expect young professionals to do. Short term, medium term, and long term. It's not useful for us to sit back and say young professionals, youth. They will always be young. In 10 years from now, they will be young. In 15 years, they will be young. Let's have a roadmap. And that's get us between the ease of doing business in Nigeria. Because poverty is just not problem. Second, what is service models? What is service models that we improve as a country? If you are talking about delivering service to this country as professionals, once we get strategic, those sectors that essentially help the country and grow the young people. Those professionals are what should now be the government and say, let's grow the education sector to help this particular aspect. Let's grow that sector in line with the short term, medium term, and long term. Also, what are the investments that go related to the service deliveries that we are talking about? Is it the health sector? Is it the justice sector? Is it power sector? Is it education? Is it the financial services sector or banks? And in doing that, let's look at what we essentially take back as structurally. These are the things that we need to change.
Thank you very much. That was Val Madi. Well, I love being an events director because at this time, you notice that the guest speakers have a way of avoiding eye contact. The MC just went goodwill messages that were conducted by the chairman himself, chairman Nigerian Young Professional Forum, Moses Local Sias. Mr. Chairman.
Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're going to spend 2 hours 30 minutes. I want to really apologize to some of our speakers and needed to interrupt the presentation because we have to be professional as possible given our time. Not wasting much time, this is the time for goodwill message because it's a very strategic summit and we have some people here we, as the Nigerian Professionals Forum, holds a very high esteem. People who have supported us already. We're supposed to have a good message from that application, AIT, that have given us great support for this event. And we promised that after this time, we were supposed to take this program live on AIT, but we're not so sure about the number of persons that are going to be here today. So what we're going to do with them is to ensure that we have a documentary in 30 minutes to 45 minutes documentary that will play after this program. It's courtesy of that communication. We want to thank them for the support. We also, in my vote of thanks, I'm going to appreciate some people who have actually supported us to put this program together. But this is the time for the message, and I want to, first of all, recognize the presence of one of our internal trustees of the Nigerian Young Professionals Forum, a young man that has actually created a lot of impact in terms of his private business, also the private sector of the Nigerian economy. A very young man that is positive-minded from the southeast zone of Nigeria, somebody that has so much to offer to the growth of Nigeria. It's no other person than Prince Okonko, my very good friend. Come and 2 minutes.
Young professionals is not youth per se. Again, a youth can be young professional. But these are people that engineer actually made a very clear definition of using professional. Because that, if we understand who the professional is, then it simply means our difficulties as a result. Because any person that is doing anything legitimate, that is trained and doing legitimate, is a professional. Because, sometimes you say there are professional 419. There is nothing called professional 419. Anyone who is a 419 person is not a professional. He's a fraudster. So, and Nigerians are known to be one of the best in the world, all over the world. We have young Nigerians, young professionals in every discipline. I believe that this greatest opportunity that has come to us in Nigeria as young professionals of Nigeria, we will establish it. We will make it what it ought to be. And of course, we will use this veritable forum to engage other young professionals in the world. Again, thank you for coming, and I'm glad to be part of this forum.
Next is a very young man that has actually created a lot of impact, also in the entertainment industry and also in the social workforce.
I salute the house. I'm a filmmaker, and I will not waste our time. For me, we're all playing a role. This is clear about nation building. My understanding is that we're gathered here not to discuss professionalism. We're discussing how to build our nation and how to contribute our quota as professionals. Politics is going on in our land. Nigeria is being redefined. For me, the call for national dialogue is apt, it's timely, it's key. When we start seeing Boko Haram, people killing themselves outside other people who are not ready to die, then we should talk. And that is why I said that in fact what is going on here today. When on the 1st of October 2013, Mr. President, by the activities in the acclaimed national or the biggest political party in Nigeria, when we started to see defection, and they called it freedom of association and formed what they called New PDP. Indeed, it was timely that we should talk. Mr. President then accepted that we should talk. Now that we are going to talk, we should be discussing nationhood. For me, I have continued to define Nigeria as a group of nations doing business without a memorandum of understanding. And when we do business without a memorandum of understanding, then indeed we want to be a nation, we should talk. And then nationhood requires that, as a Professor Ike inferred here, that character is part of it. If you are a nation
there is what is called character. If people start killing themselves alongside other people and we cannot boldly come out and condemn it, that's not a good character for nationhood. If people start dividing our nationhood along ethnic, jingoism and religious bigotry and all of that, that is not the character of nationhood. I'm glad we have younger people in our midst. The truth of the matter is that we are about to have a nation, and professionals should contribute their role in building this nation. On that 1st of October, I saw a challenge. I did call them. I called my good friend Jim Malin, for those of you who were challenged. That they were still playing the devil's advocate. And I called him, I said, excuse me, that was the day that Nigeria had independence. You could not be part of discussing Nigeria. And he said he was against the ethics of their profession. I said, what profession are you talking about? Where are you functioning? Are you going to practice this so-called profession of yours outside Nigeria? That was Nigeria's day, and you could not be part of discussing Nigeria. We need to activate the spirit of this nation in all of us. That is what this national dialogue or national conference is about. For me, if you want to know, as a filmmaker, I could have had an opportunity to leave Nigeria and indeed travel around Nigeria and travel around the world, but I haven't. I have only stepped out of Nigeria once in my life. I'm 36 years old of age, and the only place I went to is Ghana. I went to Ghana because the man who has made me feel proud as a black man is today in the White House. He chose, instead of coming to Nigeria, he went to Ghana. And I felt, wow, why would Barack Obama go to Ghana? So I went to Ghana. That's the only time I left Nigeria. And I went to know why he went to Ghana instead of coming to Nigeria. Because during his election in 2008, I remember that from here we were agitating for a black man to go to the White House. So I got to Ghana. I went to where the Abuja Accord was signed. I studied from taking off from the airport here for 5-50 minutes flight. Getting to Ghana and all of that, for the 2 nights that I stayed there, there was only one difference. Why Ghana seemed to be, the pride of everybody, today in the world. The challenge is, we do not have the spirit of Nigeria in us. Go to Ghana, the spirit of Ghana is in Ghanaians. This is the opportunity for all of us to be part of activating the Nigerianness, so that we can have that nation that we are all desirous of. Thank you very much.
Chairman, Excellency, unfortunately, I could not be on time due to personal reasons, but I would want to take your time because I can see that we are all exhausted to go. I'm listening to all the speakers, or some of the speakers, and all has been said, and I'm particularly interested in the last speaker, and I just want to stand on his words, which is the spirit of Nigeria. Like the speaker before, the last speaker said, we're not here to discuss professionalism because we already, or I want to believe that we are all professionals. So the thing is, how do we bring out the professional in us? So talking about the role of young professionals in the national dialogue, this is the time and this is our opportunity to make an impact. So I would encourage all of us as young professionals or as young people to come out and make this impact. Like I said, we had last night we cannot continue to say we are the leaders of tomorrow. And every day we keep the days go by, and we continue to be leaders of tomorrow. Tomorrow is now. So I want to urge all of us to take advantage of that, of this opportunity, and make the best use of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'll reiterate what the last speaker before him said. My favorite so far has been the quote of Mabo, which is activating the Nigerians by Dixon. I'll take that there with me. Just before I mention the next item, there's a vehicle I've been asked to follow a South Guatemala plate number Kano AR790. You hear me in your car. It's very urgent. May we all together welcome our dynamic, performing, amiable governor, Executive Governor of Enugu State, His Excellency Barrister Solomon Inanna John Chidi, ably represented here by Commissioner for Human Capital Development and Poverty Reduction, Honorable Godwin Okebi. Please put your hands together for him.
This is with a view to finding a lasting solution rather than sweeping them under the carpet or pretending that they do not exist, as we have apparently been doing since we became an independent nation. The proposed national conference will provide another opportunity for Nigerians to build a new Nigeria where such malaise as ethnicity and religious intolerance, mediocrity, inequality, injustice, rampant corruption, and indiscipline will become things of the past. The role of new international development cannot indeed be overemphasized. The youth represent both the present and the future of any society. As great German philosopher Johann Wolfgang von Goethe pointed out, the destiny of any nation at any given time depends on the opinions of the young men and women. It is therefore imperative that youth should play an active role in all the programs and schemes aimed at repositioning and reforming the country. The proposed national conference is at this time one of the most important programs that are geared towards shaping the nation's future. Again, we commend the government for making provision for the adequate representation of the young people in the conference. This summit should, among other things, serve as a platform for youth to restore and develop a common position on issues affecting the welfare of young people, the progress of the nation as a whole, and the present state of the conference. As a government, we have, as one of our cardinal policies, the introduction and maintenance of sound youth development and empowerment programs, and we are happy to announce that we have continued to record resounding successes in our various initiatives in this direction. It is our resolve to continue to support other initiatives and projects that, even when originating from outside our sectors, are designed to enhance our youth development, empowerment, and education on every area of knowledge and endeavor. Once again, I welcome you to this occasion, and I urge you to find time within your time schedule to support the hospitality and the warmth of any and our people.
Roll the encouragement. Nancy well said. The next lineup will be the Good Affairs. We've been delivered by Chairman himself, Moses Siaso.
Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we actually want to appreciate, extend our most profound appreciation to those who have made this program a success. I want to actually thank God, because I believe so much in God for the actualization of this program. We went through a lot, but today we are here today to discuss. We have discussed, and we have actually achieved some level of milestone in our dreams, aspiration as a group. The coordinator of this group in Enugu State, she has actually worked so hard to ensure that we have this experience success today, and I must appreciate that. I want to say here today in the presence of people that the respect and value that we're actually placing on you has actually increased in yourself. Enugu State have actually set a very good example for the Southeast and for Nigeria. So we must come and put this program here together. And everything that we are seeing here today were done by us without any level of support. And we are doing this because of what we believe in. Young people contributed for the growth of this program. Even in the program we did, and although we received some level of support from the state government. But I want to thank you all those who supported, all those who did not support, because I believe that one day all of us will gather and tell ourselves the truth. Because Nigeria has not moved forward because we have refused to tell ourselves the truth. I've been very progressive, and I work for Mr. President. If President is not doing something that is right, I tell him, Mr. President, you are not doing this that is right. It will not benefit the lots of the Nigerian people. I don't go and play the team or tell him that all is not well, all is not well. When doing that, I show some level of wisdom and knowledge. We need to tell ourselves and we need to tell our leaders the truth. And that's what has taken me to the point that I am in life. I want each and every one of you who have actually participated in this program to take one message home about the theme that we are discussing today. If you look at the banner here, saying visualizing the future, we need to look at the future, because the future is more important than the now. What will Nigeria become in the next 5 years or in the next 10 years? I want a Nigeria of my dream. I want a Nigeria where my children will have the best form of education. I want a Nigeria where my children will have the best form of access to health. Not the Nigeria that I will send my children out of this country to study and to enhance someone else's economic value. We need to contribute, we need to be seen as those who are contributing to the advancement of the Nigerian state. And that's why the Nigerian young professionals forum is there. I have my reasons to have taken my time to explain all this to us. I want to thank you for all your support. I want to thank the erudite professor. I want to thank my members. I want to thank my speakers. I want to thank Mr. Chima. I want to thank the MC. Most of you don't know, we went to her, we begged her to come and MC this program because she's a professional. And she did. She gave her consent, despite her very busy schedule. She works in Radio Nigeria. The young man did this, decorated this hall. I was here yesterday, but I was like, how are we going to manage because the hall is too big? And how are we going to design this place? And the young man said, don't worry, Mr. Chairman, you can sleep. But when I came here this morning, I was really impressed. He's a young professional. And I want to assure you, if he's here, that the sky is your limit. So, the essence of this program is also for us to network. I'm meeting some people for the first time. I'm meeting Madam for the first time. You know, we need to network, collect numbers, and ensure that we talk to ourselves to enhance our growth. Once again, thank you very much for participating. God bless you.
We felt that it would be in order, yes.